Hello. Welcome to our channel. This is part of a 5 video series where I'll be going over the pathway to the 2026 T20 World Cup, so make sure to check out our other videos linked below. Let's get right into it. We're going to be looking at the European qualifiers in this video, and just as a quick reminder, these regional qualifiers are to decide 8 of the teams that make it to the World Cup, as the other 12 make it automatically, which I talked about in our video covering the general path to the World Cup. Now, the European qualifiers are being hosted in the Netherlands from the 5th of July to the 11th, and we'll see 5 teams battling for 2 spots in the World Cup. And similar to the other qualifiers, there are 2 different ways to make it to here. Either you played in the 2024 T20 World Cup, or you're the winning team in one of 3 different sub-regional tournaments. The teams that played in the 2024 World Cup were the Netherlands and Scotland. The Netherlands won 1 out of their 4 matches, and Scotland unfortunately did not get to play all 4 of their matches, as one of their matches was rained out, which led to them not qualifying because of net run rate. Had they qualified to the Super 8, it would have been very interesting, as they would have made it directly into the 2026 World Cup, and England in their place would have been playing in these qualifiers. Very fun to see if that happened. Now, these sub-regional tournaments are quite a bit different than the other regions because each has 2 groups playing, and the table toppers of each group plays the other for advancement to the European qualifiers, instead of a system where all teams are facing against one another in a round-robin style. So the first sub-regional tournament was Europe Qualifier A, held in Italy, and saw 5 teams in each Group A and Group B, seen here. Italy was pretty comfortably able to top the tables, winning all of their matches with the help of former Australian opener Joe Burns. And similar to Italy's run, Romania was also able to top the tables and win all of their matches in Group B. However, you might notice Austria does have a higher net run rate. Unfortunately for them, Romania won in their matchup, which means that Romania will be qualifying for the final. Ultimately, though, the final was a complete blowout. Italy was able to win by 160 runs, and it was led by Joe Burns scoring 108 not out off of just 55 deliveries, and Christian Kalugomage taking 3 for 12 in his 4 overs. Europe Qualifier B, held in Germany, saw Jersey top Group 1 with a net run rate of almost 7.5, and Norway topped Group B with also winning all their matches that they played, but the net run rate not as high, so you can already take a guess as to what the final result might have been. Yeah, ultimately the final was led by the Jersey bowlers, who were able to bowl Norway out for 69, and the batsmen cleaned it up in just 7.1 overs, losing only 4 wickets in the process. Vinay Ravi was the standout bowler for Norway, as he took 4 for 31 in his 4 overs. Finally, Europe Qualifier C, held in Guernsey, saw Denmark just edge out Spain over net run rate, as both teams had an abandoned match against each other, which unfortunately meant they were not able to play one another, meaning that Spain, maybe they feel slightly wrongly done there, but ultimately came down to net run rate. And Group B also saw a similar story where Guernsey barely passed Finland's net run rate and also advanced to the finals. Now, interestingly enough, when both Finland and Guernsey played each other in the group stage, Finland was just able to beat them by 4 runs, led by Raz Mohammed's 4 for 7 in just 3 overs. Ultimately, though, the final came down to Denmark versus Guernsey, where Guernsey restricted Denmark to 160 and chased it with more than an over and 6 wickets to spare. So our final teams moving to the European qualifiers are as follows. And as I mentioned in previous video, I expect the 2 teams that make it out to be the Netherlands and Scotland. However, some of these other teams, particularly Italy, put up strong performances in their sub-regionals, so it will be a good test for all the teams participating.